Today's gospel is all about following a call, following your vocation. And I think this is one of the questions that we all ask ourselves at one point in our lives, or maybe sometimes at several times in our lives. What is my calling? What is my true calling? What is my vocation? I live my life, sure. I do my job, I do my work, the chores, but every week kind of resembles the previous week. And sometimes we feel that maybe we're not exactly living. We're just doing the stuff that's on our calendar. But what are we truly called to do? What is the life that we aspire to? What is God asking us to do? That is what these readings today are all about. And I think you can ask yourself 4 questions when you're wondering, but am I truly living out my calling, my vocation in life? The first question, of course, you have to ask yourself is, who is calling? And am I following the right person in my life? When you look at your own life, and you have the feeling that, well, why am I doing this? This doesn't fulfill me. I feel like I should be doing something else with my life. How did I end up here? And maybe it is because you're not following the right people. Who do you allow to have power over your life, over your choices? And maybe you should be on the lookout for someone else to follow. If you look at the story of Star Wars, when we first meet Luke Skywalker, he is in this situation where he's not happy with his life. He's on this desert planet on Tatooine, and he has a choice at one point at the beginning of the story. Either he follows his uncle, who tells him, I want you to stay here on the farm, and you need to help me, and no funny business. But then he meets someone else, Obi-Wan Kenobi, who tells him, but Luke, if you want to come with me to Alderaan, you need to learn the ways of the Force. So on the one hand, it's this, is he going to listen to his uncle? That's what he knows. That's how his life has been for years and years and years. And Luke feels, but I'm called to something else. And then you've got this new person in his life, Obi-Wan Kenobi, who invites him, well, follow me. I will teach you the ways of the Force. You are called to do something else with your life. In both readings, the first reading about the story of Samuel, but also in the vocation of the disciples, there's the same question. Who do you follow? Who is calling you? Samuel at first thinks that it is his master, Eli. But then Eli realizes, no. The Lord is calling you. He is the one you need to listen to. He is the one you should follow. And in the gospel, we meet 2 disciples of John. They were already following John the Baptist. But then John points to Jesus and he says, that's the Lamb of God. And he implies that's the one you should follow. And that's what they do. They change direction. They leave John the Baptist to follow Jesus. The second question you have to ask yourself is, what do I truly want when I follow someone in my life? What am I truly aspiring to? When we follow teachers or, maybe someone that inspires you, it's not just because you like that person. It's always because that person awakes in you a desire that you have. You want to live that life. You want to emulate what that person is doing and the life that person is living. So the question you have to ask yourself is, but what is my deepest desire? If you want to discover what you're called to do, then one of the ways in which God is telling you what to do is through attraction. God is not telling you what to do, but he pulls you towards his ways. And I think what is important when you're not happy with your current life, and you're truly asking yourself, is this what I'm supposed to do? Then search your feelings, search your deepest desires, not the superficial ones, like I'd like to eat French fries tonight, and I'd like to be comfortable and watch TV. But look deeper. What is the biggest calling, your greatest wish? And ask yourself if the life that you're currently leading is actually helping you to realize that wish. Both Samuel and the two future apostles that we meet in today's readings feel that they are called to do something great, to go on an adventure that is greater than themselves. And when they hear the call, they recognize that call is helping them to go after their greatest dream. And that's always a difficult decision, to follow those big dreams, that deepest calling in yourself. Think of Bilbo. When Bilbo Baggins is in the Shire, he is happy. He is comfortable. He has his hobbit hole and his friends, and every day is kind of like the last day. And something in him is very much attached to that current life. Then Gandalf stops by and says, I'm looking for someone to help me on an adventure that I've started, and it's very hard to find someone. Gandalf, in that story, it tells us how difficult it apparently is for people to step out of their comfortable life, out of the life that they currently live, and begin this adventure that you don't control, that you don't know where it's going to lead you, but that truly is what you are meant to do. And Bilbo is struggling with that, and he finally chooses to follow Gandalf, to step out of the door and to go in to accompany Gandalf into the unknown, because that is what is stronger than his desire to lead a comfortable life. Both Simon Peter and Andrew, his brother, they don't know what they're going to embark on. They don't know where Jesus will lead them, but they recognize this is what we truly want. We need to be where Jesus is. The third question you have to ask yourself when it comes to vocation is, am I really answering the call? Am I really doing what I feel attracted to? Or is something blocking the way? What is withholding me to follow this new adventure, this new road? And it may be a whole bunch of things. It could be excuses that you made for yourself. But you know what? It's too dangerous, or I'm too comfortable here. I like it here, and it's too risky. But it could also be other people or a situation that you're in that is preventing you from making progress. It could be a system that is withholding you. Think of the story of Harry Potter. When he is still living with his aunt and uncle at Privet Drive, one day he receives this letter that tells him, you are invited to study at Hogwarts. And immediately Harry is like, yes, get me out of here. And then it seems like everything around him is blocking him from answering the call. His uncle doesn't want him to read the envelope. They even at one point take him to a remote island. So all to prevent him from stepping into this new life. In the first reading about Samuel, Eli, a wise prophet as he is, he realizes that in order for Samuel to follow God and to actually start this adventure that God has clearly prepared for this young boy, What is required of Samuel is that he knows that it's God who is calling him, and that he opens his heart. And he tells Samuel, you know what? Next time you hear this voice, say, "Here I am, Lord. I'm ready to do what you want me to do. I'm listening." It's very similar to what the Virgin Mary will say when she is invited by the angel to embark on this crazy adventure, becoming the mother of the Messiah. What does Mary do? She says, "Here I am. I'm the handmaiden of the Lord. Let it happen. Let God's will be done." Those are examples of people that open themselves up so that they can truly follow the call. And whatever is preventing them from staying put, they make sure that they leave that behind. It takes a lot of courage to do that. But if you never try, if you don't dare, then nothing will change. And you will still feel that maybe you're not doing what you're called to do. And then the final question you have to ask yourself is, following my vocation, answering the call, getting rid of these obstacles. I don't think I can do that myself, all by myself, but who could help me with that? Is there someone who can come along with me and help me find this way, this new road? And so in many of the stories that we love, there is always a teacher or a coach. For Bilbo, it's Gandalf. For Harry, at first it's Hagrid, and later on it's Dumbledore, that will constantly give advice to young Harry. This is what you should do. Let me help you to do the right thing. And in the story of Star Wars, it's of course Obi-Wan Kenobi, and later on it's Yoda, who helps Luke Skywalker to become what he's called to be, a true Jedi. And that's also true in our walk with God. We cannot do this all by ourselves. We need teachers, we need guides, we need shepherds. Jesus is constantly at the side of his disciples to course correct if necessary, to teach them, to help them discern what God is calling them to do. And by following him and by following in his footsteps, bit by bit they grow into this vocation. And when Jesus is no longer there, they know where to go because Jesus has taught them. Ask yourself in your life, who is my teacher? Who can be my coach? Who can help me? Who is my Yoda? Both in the choices that I make for my day-to-day life, but also in my walk of faith. We cannot walk alone when we want to grow in faith. Who can be a good shepherd for me? Who can be a teacher? Who can help me to follow in the footsteps of Jesus? I'm going to leave you with these 4 questions. Who am I following? Who is calling me? What do I truly desire when I follow this person? What is my deepest calling in life? How do I say yes? How do I answer the call? How do I get rid of what's in the way of all the obstacles? And who can help me? Who can be my guide along the way? Amen.